Indonesia's government plans to release a 10-volume book series presenting the country's official history. It sparked concerns that some of the country's darkest chapters could be recast in an entirely different light. The ABC's Indonesian team has been analysing an early draft leaked to local media that presents the proposed outline for the revised history. Reporter Natasya Salim is here to tell us more. Now, Natasya, if you could please tell us what is in these books or what isn't?
So the draft that has been seen by ABC Indonesia records the early history of Indonesia, including its relationship with countries such as China, India, and also Middle Eastern countries, and also Indonesia's early form of alliance with the Western countries. The draft also reveals the history of past colonization by the Dutch. And this is something that the government actually wants to revise. They want to change the period of colonization by the Dutch and shorten it to less than 350 years, which is recorded in historical textbooks in Indonesia right now. But when we compare this draft to the current textbooks in Indonesia, the biggest hole in the draft is about what happened in 1998, which includes the massive student protests and also about the monetary crisis and also violent attacks against the ethnic Chinese minority and how people are voicing a reform, like they want a reform to the government.
And 1998 was also when there were mass protests against the government and saw the eventual downfall of longtime President Suharto. Why might authorities want to rewrite what happened then?
So, May 1998 was a dark period of time in the history of Indonesia. That was when our authoritarian President Suharto stepped down from the government, and that has triggered a series of violent attacks and protests from the students. There is an anger directed towards Suharto's governance over issues such as food shortage, mass unemployment, and also corruption. And this anger was unfortunately directed towards the ethnic Chinese minority. So at least 400 ethnic Chinese women were raped in the incident, and then the shops and homes that mostly belong to ethnic Chinese minority were also destroyed, looted, and burned. And this was also a period of time where activists who were against the government were kidnapped, and the justice for the victims are yet to be served.
And what has been the reaction to the proposed revision and rewriting of Indonesia's history?
So historians and human rights activists in Indonesia are not happy about this project and about the plan to revise the history of Indonesia. They accused it as a project from the government to create their own truth and planting it into people's heads. And the lack of discussions about the past human rights violations in Indonesia has actually created concern of the lack of justice and the lack of acknowledgement of what actually happened in the past.
Natasya Salim, thank you.
Thanks, Yvonne.